right, guys, welcome to the podcast, the actual very first edition. Well, we did have the introductory one yesterday, but this is the actual very first edition of the final circle. And I am very sure we have a lot to talk about today, guys. Way too much. Okay, come on. I cannot start. But again, the Carry1st Africa Cup Grand Finals was a bomb. I mean, it was a really good event. The stream wasn't that old but I've got to say, we've got a lot to talk about. So welcome to the stream, guys. It's your boy Carl, and we are going to have a whole lot of guests coming in subsequently. Sam, a couple of the pro players maybe as well. If we're able to get them on here, because we do know they are very tired from a very long day of playing back-to-back matches. So hopefully we're able to get them on the podcast stream. But again, welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the stream. And well, there's nobody else currently on the guest list with me, so I'm just gonna have to wait for the boys to come join. But again, guys, welcome to the show. This is the final circle, brought to you by Carl and a whole lot of other hosts as well. Special shout out to Jerry, the CEO of the VFX Works and the background production. But yep, welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. This is where we get to talk about everything esports, Call of Duty Mobile in the African scene. So yep, welcome to the show again. I think I'm going to go on a very short break, and hopefully we get to bring in the guests to come and join in. So welcome to the stream. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you guys soon. All right, guys, welcome back to the final circle. And we've gone with us the most controversial man in the NG scene, the one only Seb. I mean, come on, Seb. Welcome to the stream. And also behind the fence are not in the face cam because they're all there are Halos on the background, Drafi as well. And we also will be bringing a couple pro players from the LAN event, to the podcast to go get their hotels on time because they're obviously very tired. Long event, a very long day, a very long stream, a very long event. They're very tired. They might need to get some rest. But I'm certain that Reed would want to come here and go head to head up against them. So, welcome back to the final second, guys, where we get to talk about everything esports in the CODM space. Okay, we've got Seb, we've got Halo, the ugly man who can not show his face. Drafi as well is also ugly for some reason. But yeah, guys, I'll give you guys Seb now. Seb, how was the event, Seb? How was the event?
Man, it was full of ups and downs, right? That's the only thing I can say. Right. I'm not one to just like, trash talk or something like that, but there were some positives, and as we all know, there were some negatives. But like, I prefer to just dwell on the positives. On the positive side, there were some surprises, right? I thought that there was going to be a couple of teams that were going to be pushovers, and it turns out that the only pushover was in fact CZY. Every other team came out, guns blazing and with a point to prove, and it ended up being a far more contested. It ended up being a far more contested tournament than what we predicted. So yeah, that was a very positive outcome from the event, and that's why I think it was fun. It was fun. It was a fun event to watch.
So I think
the only negative side would have been like the stream was like very, very laggy, very choppy. At some point, it was discouraging to watch. I think.
Yeah, the production was very questionable.
Someone that's been like on the back production, I can kind of, would I say, understand to some extent.
The production was very
issues that is like in production and all of that. But yeah, like I think that side that is not really within our control. I think what we can even talk about is the matches, and like Seb said,
yo guys, we have Twix in the chat. The Kenyan goat himself.
Oh, the Lord Twix. Twix, are you on your
shout out to Twix. All my homies love Twix.
I need to.
Yeah. We fuck with Kenyans, man. We fuck with Kenyans. All my homies love the Kenyans.
No effort on Twix, sir.
Oh, sorry, we F word with the Kenyans here. All my homies F word with the Kenyans.
I think before we head into the matches, we have to like point out one thing that I think should be, even though we had like the stream was bad, production was really crazy and all that, but we've got to give Carry1st a major plus, man. The numbers that we have putting on stream on TikTok and YT, Jesus Christ, like those numbers have never been said that. So I think these are numbers that we actually going to give them. I think about something like trouble back in the Nintendo days, but at that side, I'm going to say big ups to Carry1st. The numbers were good. The numbers were insane. I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that the community was looking forward to. So like, it wasn't really shocking to see like that many number of people. I even expected it to be higher, but well, I think it is what it is. We had like, I think peak was maybe like 700 and something viewers or so.
It was 820 something actually, yeah.
Oh, that's actually crazy. I didn't know it got up to 800. I thought it was like 7 something plus. That was.
It did for a while. The last time, no.
Yeah. So I mean, today was fun. Actually, it was. So matches were. I mean, the Nigerian goats. They started to bleed at some point.
I think before you go to these matches, hold on, Halo. Let's not jump into these matches. I think we should talk about other things first before we get to matches. Maybe when we get a whole lot of viewers more coming here, we go into the matches and just dive right in. So again, back to stream numbers, really good numbers there from Carry1st, and hopefully we get to see a whole lot more consistent esports numbers like that in the African scene. Again, I think somebody said Kings were watch party in Hello. Is that true? I
Yeah,
saw Kings watch party, and I saw it,
the
but I didn't really watch the stream.
yeah, it was like not really watch partying. It was streaming. Then he like tuned into the Carry1st stream and then watched for a while. And then the chat was cooking him that he should just probably go and play around. Like most especially because like the stream was laggy,
Yeah,
was choppy, and then like they didn't really like what they were saying, so they were kind of like cooking him that you should just leave the Carry1st African Cup and then go and watch, go and play ranked or something or play pubs or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair. But I'm also going to give commandments to like some of our African brothers. I think did watch parties. D-Main was watch party. Stava watch parties for like only the Ghanaian games. Where any or a 2-3-3 game, Stava was watch parties only the Ghanaian games. And then you've got to also shout out Seb. Seb was live for the whole event. I mean, literally, bro. Like this man was live the whole day. I mean, the data, the flow, Seb, how was he? How did he feel was watching an event for like 9 hours, even though
the watch party was vibes, right? It was pure vibes. Naturally, there were more people in the watch party when S7 was playing, right? And then when the other teams were playing, they would fall off. But it was vibes because everybody showed up, and because the Discord was open, it was really interesting. Like, we had the whole 9 yards from agony glazing Michael the entire time to arguing with Namikaze over who's better between Virus and Live, to being shocked on stream and seeing S7 do a comeback, and to being shocked on stream and seeing S7 get dogged, and then now being shocked and seeing Delta beat Aura 233. The whole thing was it was chaos. It was chaos. Again, whoever wrote the script for today was definitely on something because no normal person could have come up with this script. Like it turned out perfect in terms of the script, right? Nobody could have predicted that today was going to go how it went. And then at the end of
well,
for you to know how chaotic it was, right now we don't even know definitively what teams are in the next round. Like how much more of a better ending could you have asked for? Right.
yeah, I think that's basically for Group A, where the group of death, as they call it, the CR7, Aura 233, and the one and only down to Esports, so like the three powerhouses. But I think for Group B, we do know CZY obviously got destroyed. It was just not their event, not their day. On their home ground, they got cooked. Like Balu, yeah, so literally they've got home. It's going to be NXG and Sony Sports qualifying
Yo, I'm catching strays. What the fuck?
For the next bracket, for the bracket finals. And whoa, now, but I think now we can actually delve into the matches. And like, let's start with this Group A thing.
Just to clarify, Delta did not, in fact, use two Annihilator. They equipped two Annihilators at some point, but they didn't use it. So stop spreading misinformation.
Storm did not use his Annihilator throughout I think it was Raid or Control. Storm had anybody did not use that, so it does not count. The rules only say you're not allowed to use two operator skills for two different players. Sorry, one operator skill for two different players. But the thing is, you can equip it, but as long as you don't use it, you're fine and you're free to go. So literally, there's no DQ for the Delta Esports team. For the Kenyans, they are still standing. So Kenya still has one team in the event. But again, the twist comes where the Group A, CR7, R233, and Delta Esports. It's a bit of a mix here where we actually don't know who's qualifying for day two, the bracket finals, because it's like everybody won everybody. It was a knock me, I knocked the other person thing, and like right now we've got no idea who's going to be qualifying for the bracket finals. But yeah, I think they're going to announce that tomorrow before the games commence. I think it's a bit of a suspect, and I do like that. So tells you how tough the group of them actually was. Hello. I don't know.
Yeah, I see that group A in my head, like going into that, like that match, those matches, I was like, okay. From everybody that knows me from the community, I was like, my dark horse was definitely going to be like Delta Esports, because I was like, okay, they've got Michael, but it was a bit of like an iffy situation because we weren't sure what Michael was going to do. It was like, okay, can Michael come out and cook, or will Michael be washed, that kind of thing. But I was still like leaning towards, okay, Michael coming out like to the game, to the match days, and putting off like some kind of, Michael-esque performance. And I mean, from what we can see, Michael is not washed. Because today he showed us that six months break is like is nothing. It's like as if he stopped playing yesterday. Like that bro was cooking something in all those games. But yeah, like it's 3-way tie. Like we're still waiting to hear like the results and all of that. But Group A was fire actually. Like that's where most of like the banger games were. Group B was like still like sometimes one-sided. I think some Esports got like a DQ against like NXG, which was a bit unfortunate considering like the stage and everything. But it is what it is. Like played.
I know what Twitch said on chat. Halo. He says, "Don't forget Storm. He deserves the credit."
Storm was. I thought like my eyes were on Storm for a response. I didn't know that my guy would carry the entire kitchen and lock the door and like say no, I'm the only one cooking here. Like bro was absolutely cooking Sierra 7 in that game, and even when he went up against Roy, like he said, "Nah, I own this game, bro." Like on considering the fact that he's only like bad device as well, like bro. That game was something.
I mean, I think talking about the fact that there were actually players in that LAN event that actually had 60 FPS, it just tells you that maybe Africa were actually not quite there, we're not actually full throttle into this esports thing. Because if I'm pretty sure if those Kenyans all had 60 FPS, 120 FPS, and literally everybody in the event had wanted, especially CZY. I think now we've been talking about how bad they did in the event, but mind you, a whole lot of their players were actually also on that 60 FPS. So I think maybe if we all had every single player in the event on a 120 FPS device, then I think we can actually judge fully and go ahead and say, oh, this team is bad and that team is bad, that player is bad. But I don't think as of now we can actually go ahead and say, oh, this season why we're actually bad. I would not say that really, because the guys that went up against, I think literally everybody in the NXG team has a 120 FPS device. Son as well. Okay, actually Son does not have everybody, but I think 3 players in Son have 120. So that's the thing. We also cannot go and fully just say, oh, CZY was terrible, when we do know they have a device issue and all that. So yeah, well, back to what we're saying about the Kenyan team, Delta Esports, the pride of Kenya. I mean, stop. Even Breaker at some point was breaking people's bones in that game. It was literally everybody in that team brought something to the table. And then moving the talks now to Aura 2-3-3. I mean, literally the underdogs, like when it comes to the top 4, top 3, they were the underdogs.
They were not the underdogs, though. They were like the majority. Would I say it's probably been a very small percentage. Like people's bias obviously kicked in, where everybody's like, "Oh, Nigeria is better," that kind of thing. They were in no way the underdogs. I think if you've been hearing like the conversations from the LAN events for like the last 2-3 days, you'll be hearing that Ghana has actually been playing really well. You get me? So it was like a situation. Okay, Ghana is probably going to like play well at LAN. I think the first game against Sierra 7, I kind of saw them taking that matchup. You get me? Like I expected it to be close as it was, but I kind of saw like I was leaning more towards or 2-3 winning that game. And then I mean, ruin is ruin, man. Like I can't. Let me never start glazing before the comment section cooks me. But ruin was doing some unhuman things, bro. Like unhuman. Sorry,
we got to be honest. We got to be honest there, like that. I don't even think it's called glazing at this point. Yeah, it's called being factual. It's called being like honest about what you saw with your eyes. It's not even glazing. I think the highest scores in hardcore for the whole day was great. I think 58 kills, or 56 kills. But maybe they actually came.
Darox dropped 70 or something.
Oh, that was. I mean, no. Now, I mean the quality of teams. Now, with all due respect, No, with all due respect to CZY, but the quality of teams that Aura was
you literally went in, okay, we can't call it team bad to say, the quality of team.
No, but okay now.
Nah, bro, that's a violation. That's a violation.
So, I do apologize, but it's the fact. It's the fact. I mean, all our face boys are, were literally up there in the event and like 56 years for real. Come on, that should mean something. But the Darius, of course, is just goated. I mean, Darius, the whole event, he was.
That was like 1v5. Like, it was literally the only person on his team that was shooting back. The only one, like the S&D against NXG was like basically we should just change the name of that game to Darox versus NXG, because that was literally, it was, my man was popping like 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 pieces every single round. Like, bro, I think it was playing like it was pubs, man. Like, that game was
playing like pubs. I swear. No, I think when it comes to LAN experience there, yeah, I think Darox is the most experienced player when it comes to LAN, and probably maybe not. I think CR7 also have a lot of LAN experience, but on the global stage where it's international, yeah, I think Darox should be the player you look out for and say, oh yeah, he's got more than LAN experience compared to like all of the players. But I can't lie, he really definitely showed the team they went against there. Darox on a different level. And now I think if we are going to have the MVP talks, yeah, let me ask you guys first on here on the call. Is Draffy still here? I don't think so. Draffy's in here. So it's me, Seb, and Halo. So Halo, who are your top 3 players for MVP right now? No, don't tell me why. Just tell me your top 3 players. Name them off your head.
Honestly, it's difficult to decide because, like, saying MVP would mean I believe.
Don't tell me why. Go ahead. Don't tell me why. Go ahead. Big 3 players.
Like, saying MVP would mean their team can win. So in that regard, I don't think Sun Esports can win. So I won't put Darox in that conversation.
No. Forget win. Let's talk about today. Your MVP
performances. Today's performances.
Okay, performance was definitely Ruin, Alive,
Michael.
Even though S7 struggled, we can kind of actually say Michael. We'll say Ruin.
Just say top 3.
Let's just say Ruin, Michael, and Darox.
That's mine as well. That's mine as well.
I think that's mine as well. What the heck? Bro, so
that's mine as well, really.
Michael, well, I think there's one thing that we always on the loop, and not just in this event, but in the whole of the LAN events prior to now. Baroff is highly on the loop as a player. I mean, this guy literally leads he might not be dropping the most kills or the most objectives and all that. But I think you heard it in the interview after like the game where he was literally the one calling all the shots, told the players what to do, and just everybody plays their part according to what Virus says. Come on.
Period.
And also like
there was all the best players that played today were all ARs. Darox, Life, Michael. What's the name of the other guy that was sniping? I've forgotten his name. Storm. Is that what his name? Storm.
Yeah, Storm.
Right? Yeah. Ruin. They were all ARs. The only SMG that had a monster performance today was Virus. Right. So I mean, his performance wasn't as good as the other guys I just listed. But after those guys, you have to put Virus in the conversation. I might put Storm above him because Storm really went crazy in the S&D. Right, Storm went crazy in the S&D. Like he was hands down, like point blank period. Storm was the best sniper today. Right, nobody should try and argue that. Storm was undisputably the best sniper of the day. But his respawn performance was a bit shaky, right? Similarly, Virus was the best SMG.
Do we agree? Do we agree with Storm's best sniper, guys?
Nobody can possibly. Guy, he dropped 18 kills. He dropped 18 kills against Aura, and then he dropped I think 10 or 12 against S7.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That does make sense. Miestro in the chat as well. Miestro's in the chat. Miestro is from I think Delta as well, right?
It's
The last one
from
for
it's
Delta.
from Delta. Yeah, he's from Delta.
Yeah, we explained the chat as well. So the pro players actually joined it. So yeah, I think best sniper we say Storm. But okay, now fine. Now we've given best sniper to Storm, best SMG to Virus. Who was the best AR? Because no, that's not the one where we're gonna have a lot of fights here at all.
That best AR, we can't conclude. It's between Ruin.
Wait,
it's between Ruin, Michael, and okay, that was even play AR. Oh, that's
SMG now because I was confused. That was no wait. I think LMG. It was didn't hold
Yes,
that.
Darox was using Darox used
SMG, LMG.
SMG and LMG.
But most of his monster plays was with the LMG.
No, that was only the S&D. He played like the was with Fennec.
Against CZY, was LMG he used as well.
I don't think Virus is the best SMG here. I think it's Darox, man.
Because so he used S&D for 2 games, right? But Virus used S&D for 4 games. So we have to take that into account.
So all right, okay, fine. Let's give best LMG to Darox, SMG to Virus, Sniper to Storm. Who was the best AR today in the whole event?
Michael or Ruin? I'm not picking. I'm not picking. I'm sorry. Michael or Ruin? I'm not picking between them. I refuse to do that.
What do you think, Halo? What do you think?
I refuse to do that.
If I do a head-to-head matchup here, when Ruin and Michael played each other, in the hard point it was Ruin like by a fucking mile.
Yeah, but you have to compare the quality of his team now. Michael had almost 15 kills more than all his teammates.
Yeah, that granted, but like that's not really like. But I say we can't really use that. That brings a lot of like intangibles into the question of who's better. Then we start like breaking it down into okay, this is. Let's just be straight with it. My Ruin was Michael was single-handedly.
The comeback, the comeback. He led that comeback.
Where he was in bar.
The third round when he went on like a 14 kill streak or something, or what was it? Then in like the final round again, then he started like going on sprees, like that 4th round where he was literally winning like 1v5 in the points. That was what he was doing, like that in that bar poolside, that round where he was like
that was like top 5 plays. Top 5 plays of this tournament. That play that guy did in bar was sick. Ruins 1v4 in Apocalypse Cave was sick. Then
Michael also against S7 the first round, the 4-piece.
Yeah, that was actually sick as well. Then there was a play that this guy did. What's his name?
Virus play, guys. You have to Virus play, the equalizer.
Yeah, with the equalizer, that was what I wanted to say next. Virus equalizer play was sick as well. Right. And then there was a play that Storm did. There was a play that Storm did in one S&D round.
I really can't remember. What I can remember from Storm was
where Storm did a 3-piece on Aura 2-3-3. 3 sniper piece. And he almost got the 4th one, but then he died.
Virus 8 kill streak in control as well. Chat says Virus 8 kill streak in control.
Yeah, with equalizer. That was the play with equalizer in control.
Yeah.
And also that
was my number 1.
I have to comment Storm. It might seem like glazing, but like the balls to pull out a sniper in
control, in that kind of cleanly contested control. That was ballsy as fuck.
Bro, that was
ballsy. It was ballsy as fuck. I can't even lie.
Seth, if you use the F word one more time, I will come to your house and I will teach you a lesson.
I said ballsy as hell. Did I say F? I didn't say F. I said ballsy as hell.
The first time you said F.
Oh, so my bad. I said that was ballsy as hell. Like, it was so ballsy. I was impressed. And then he cooked.
That was capable.
No, it was that guy was like, I had to ask, who is this guy? Where is he from? Where has he been this entire time? We must also mention that the best S&D team in Africa, they frauded, but we don't speak about it, right? We don't speak about it. Just so they know, I'm watching. They won 1 round out of 8. The best S&D team in Africa, 1 round out of 8.
No comments there. No comments. Me, I've got no comments. I'm not going to partake in this particular. I don't know what's called that. But yeah, now I think again going back to the topic where S7, Aura 233, and Delta Esports. Now they are talking some sort of time phrase out where currently none of those three things can actually move ahead. So the organizers come together, the mods, and make a decision on who's going to be advancing. Because CR7 bid this bid that, that bid that. So at the end of the day, they're all tied up, and they now need to find a way, to choose who's going to be qualifying for the bracket finals. Now, I'm going to leave this on to you guys on chat, and also my fellow talkers here. I don't know what to call them. Halo, Sam. I think Jerry was here. As well.
No way you call us talkers.
Who do you guys think is actually advancing, bro? Who do you guys really like? Or what do you guys think is going to be the what do you guys think that decision is going to be based off on who qualifies for the 2 bracket finals?
Well, I have a very straightforward. I have a very straightforward approach, right? And I believe that they should use placement points. I mean, first things first, I feel that the organizers should have planned for this thing beforehand.
Wait, sorry guys, hold on. I'm seeing something currently. I don't know where that is from, but it's on my screen, and I'm going to call that out for you guys. So I don't know if this is official, Jerry. If this is official, please let me know on the call. Hardpoint.
It's not.
It's not official. All right.
No.
It's not official. Okay. Well, from the breakdown we have currently, and even though it's not official, I think it's a team of organized people in the scene that came together and put this here. So we are going to count out those for you. So currently, in the hardpoint department, Aura 233 was the best hardpoint team, and they had 5 points being number 1. CS7 came second place in hardpoint, and they are number 2 with 3 points. And Delta was the worst hardpoint team, leaving them only 1 point in hardpoint. So currently, Aura sits at first place hardpoint, CS7 second place hardpoint, and Delta Esports third place hardpoint. Now, moving on to the S&D department, Delta won the most S&D, so they have automatically on number 1, and they have 5 points in S&D. CS7, on the other hand, they have 3 points in S&D as the second best team in S&D, and Aura 233, the worst S&D team in the Group A so far, they are going to place third with only 1 point. And moving on to the control, Aura 233 once again were apparently the best control team, leaving them at 5 points. Delta second best, leaving them at 3 points, and CS7, who did not win any control games, if I'm not mistaken, leaving them with 1 point. Which brings us now to a total point mark of Aura 233 on 11 points, Delta Esports on 9 points, and CS7 on 7 points. Okay, they want to control. Okay.
Yeah, so they want a control game, but they are.
All right. Okay. So again, mind you, this is not official. It is not official whatsoever. This is just us creating a system where of what we think might be the deciding factor, but it might not be. It might totally be off point. So again, what do you guys on chat think they are going to use to decide who qualifies for? Because definitely it's most likely not going to be another match. I don't think so. It might be a tiebreaker matchup or something, but it's going to be too long and too hard, so it might not be. But what do you guys think? I think I'll start from the talkers again on here. Let's start from Seb. Seb already knows. So Seb already gave us this.
No, I don't know, right? But I was one to put that together, and that's what I think. That's what I think is the only way I can. That when I think of if I was in charge, if someone asked me, "Oh, Seb, how would you solve this problem?" That's probably what I would do, right? Because I got different suggestions. I heard, add their scores together, and it doesn't make sense, right? Someone wins S&D 7-0, but then somebody else wins hardpoint 250-40, and then you say 250 plus 0 is 250, but then 240 plus 7 is 247. And in reality, that doesn't make sense, because if you can only beat me by 10 points in hard points, and I managed to beat you 7-0 in S&D, then I'm likely the better team, right? So I said, okay, is there a way we can do it where each game mode is isolated from the other, but then the scores are collated collectively and compared? And that's how I came up with this. You get, but I can
this
also
is
understand why they wouldn't do it that way. Again, at the end of the day, right, the organizers did not specify beforehand what the tiebreaker was supposed to be. So maybe the Series 7 guys would have tried harder in the control if they had known that, not winning a single round would have cost them more, right? So that's the issue with this kind of things. Analyzing after the fact is always easy, but it is difficult to implement because it would be unfair to the teams that come into the game with a deliberate strategy. Or, for example, might have just accepted we're bad at S&D. Let's just focus on HP and control and win that. But then now you tell them, oh, you're getting penalized because you didn't win an S&D match. And then they might feel like, oh, if we had known that S&D was going to be important, then we would have trained more. You get, so that's just my own opinion. I don't know what they conclude, but I'm really looking forward to it.
all right. So Halo, what's your take on this issue here? What's your take?
I think like coming, let me pull like the experience card with hosting like events and all of that. My perspective would be like to definitely have a tiebreaker game. That is literally the only reasonable solution. And I know some people in the chat might say, oh, but what if the tiebreaker ends in a tiebreaker? That is a very unlikely situation because if you are planning a tiebreaker, aside from where situations where tiebreakers are instantly decided, almost all tiebreakers have the opportunity of ending in a deadlock. So take, for example, see the tiebreakers that they listed for this event, where it was, okay, you start with map counts, and they're the same. Map difference is the same thing. Maps one is the same thing. Maps lost is the same thing. Like literally all those tiebreakers have ended like in a deadlock for all the three teams. So I've all ended in a tie. You get me? So my solution would be to like have them play another extra game mode. Either you use the S&D tiebreaker or you use like the control tiebreaker and have them play that. And then in this situation, in this instance, you can specify to them that if you lose or if you win, round counts will matter. You get me? So round counts can now be used. You can specify in this situation because, like Seb said, it wasn't specified before. So yeah, you come with like an entirely different mindset than just winning. It will now become from just winning to winning clean. You get me? So in this situation, like this tiebreaker where you have like round counts, just one game mode, and you have like a round count, then you can say, okay, this is what makes sense. You get me? So that would be my take. Like if I was the organizer in charge of this, that would be like the direction that I would take it. Well, from news that I'm hearing underneath, that is not the direction they are taking. The direction that they are taking is different, is unknown to the players anyway. So none of them know what exactly is going on. Carry1st said they will announce the winner, the finalists tomorrow. So that is yet to be seen.
Well, the problem
Brings us
the
back
problem I have
to
with your tiebreaker is that your tiebreaker can still end in a tiebreaker. Like even if they use round count, right? We are only lucky that the round count was asymmetric. That's why we have the clear winner. But let's assume that they say, okay, they should play a control match again, and then all the control matches end 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. What happens then? 3-2, 3-2, 3-2 were exactly where we started. Then maybe they will now use kills, and then they will now count the kills, or they will
So
use caps and say how many caps. But then what
at the
if
end of the
everybody
day, like
gets six caps, six caps, six caps? Then they will use kills. But then what if everybody has the same amount of kills?
you're going too far,
So,
Sam. Your matrix is going too far now.
and then
Way too far.
they will not score it.
That cannot
Like
happen. It's
I
way
like
too
what
far.
there was one suggestion. Let me just say there was one suggestion I saw that I appealed to me. They said Sage, Sage, Michael, Ruin shipments, free for all.
Michael wins it, guys.
Snipers
Michael wins
only.
that 1v1.
Honestly, at this point,
Michael wins it.
that's the best option. Just put 3 of them in free for
Michael
all,
wins it anytime.
and whoever comes first is first. Whoever comes second is second.
Well, why stage though? Why stage for serious? Why stage?
Because if you put with the kind of stinkers that Tipsy has been dropping, you want Tipsy to represent them.
It's not free for all. I thought Michael wins. I don't even think Sage does anything.
So who do you want to send? Is it Sage you want to? Is it Tipsy you want to send? Do you know what Tipsy is? Tipsy single-handedly grabbed Nigeria like this, and he said, "I'm taking you guys to the trenches." And he was dragging us to the trenches, and Life and Virus were dragging us in the other direction, saying, "No, Tipsy." And Tipsy was like, "No, Joe, come, trenches, trenches, trenches." Like, nah, please.
I think the only possible scenario, if there's going to be a free for all, it would definitely not be snipers, because like CR7 don't have a sniper to work in the caliber of Rain and Michael. It should so not work. I don't think back in the day was him, literally him. That guy does not miss shots. But the phone suite and what we've seen so far in the event, I don't see Sage going up against Michael and Rain a free for all and coming out victorious. It's not happening. So no, that cannot be the criteria. If it's gunfight, yep, that might work. Bring in Life or bring in Virus to represent them with SMGs or ARs. Yeah, that might work. But snipers, CR7 are definitely coming back to Nigeria, bro. That's good.
That's wrong, man. That's wrong. My bad, Sage.
Sage, no offense. No offense, but it's the fact. I mean, come on, Michael. We see what Michael can do with snipers. We see what Reed can do with the snipers. And Sage is the goal in the sniper, mind you, but not currently, not with the phone switch, and not with the time he has on
that topic you just raised just rang bells in my head. I mean, Ruin was glazing himself like on the forums group chat for those that are there that, oh yeah, like he would have we ever seen the Ruined book or some things that I was saying that, oh, is Michael still our goat, and Michael's respect has fallen off all over, only for Michael to cook him. Like he owned Ruin every single round that they were good. I think maybe Ruin got like maybe one snipe against Michael, but like every other round it was like they were just, it was like everybody forgot who Michael was, because I was seeing in some rounds where
guys,
Elvis,
I just thought of something.
Yeah, what's that? Are you gay? Sam, talk.
I know, sorry. What I thought of didn't work. I wanted to say, wait, no. So let me explain. So there's this thing they call win 2 before you lose 2, right? Win 2 before you lose 2. But I just realized that it only works when it's 4 teams, right? Basically, the idea is that you pick any 2 teams at random, and then they play against each other, and then whoever loses gets to play another match against the 3rd team, right? And then if the same team has lost 2 matches, right? If they lose 2 matches, then they're out, and then the other 2 teams qualify. But then I just figured, what if a team loses their first match and then wins their second match, and then the other team plays their own second match and then they win it? It will essentially be an endless cycle of losing and playing and winning, and then losing and then playing and then winning, and then losing and then playing and then winning. Honestly, I wonder, like, how is there no real solution to this problem? There has to be.
It was not thought of. The thing about, I think here, they should have actually thought of every possible scenario, which is what I don't want to discredit their work, but they should have thought of every possible scenario. But of course, they did not. So yeah, currently now they're stuck on making a decision that has to be urgent and has to be effective and has to make sense. I think most of the things,
this kind of situations happen. Like for those people that are familiar with like the Call of Duty League, like we do have these scenarios where you have teams that are literally on the same win percentage, the same lose percentage, the same point, the same, literally everything is dead even, and then they have to play a tiebreaker. So what the Call of Duty League does is organize a tiebreaker game, although that's usually between like two teams. So they organize like a tiebreaker game between those two teams for them to play. You get me? So there has hardly been a situation where a three-way tie is unorthodox. Like
Yeah,
it's not common.
it's actually very rare because every
Very,
tiebreaker I
very
can
rare.
think of is typically between two teams, right?
Like
Yeah.
The funny thing is, in this case, my own tiebreaker works, but the only reason why it works is because we're fortunate enough that S7 lost 3-0 in the control. If they had lost 3-2, my method would have been fucked.
Are we
But then
saying
they were
all
not
have
informed.
the same number of maps for the same? Do
Yes.
they have the exact same number of map points and map loss?
Yes.
The exact same numbers.
Yes, every single category, map one, map loss,
Yo, Jade,
map
please
difference,
help us pull
points.
up the thing on
Every
screen,
single thing, same thing.
on the screen, so the viewers will see the score lines for today, so we can actually see that as well. Because I need to understand how.
It was 2-1. They won 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Everybody won 2-1. That's all. They all won 2-1, 2-1, 2-1.
That's the map count. Like Sierra 7-1-2-1, Aura 1-2-1, Delta 1-2-1. Like every single possible scenario in terms of like overall match score was like exhausted.
So the scores on the board on the screen now. Sorry, Halo, sorry for cutting short there. The scores on the screen for you guys now. CS7 did go ahead to win 2-1. Sorry, all 2-3 did go ahead to win 2-1 in the very first match. CS7 also won 2-1 against Delta Esports, and then Delta won 2-3, 3-2-1. So yes, they have the exact same numbers of map wins, and map losses. So oh my god, that is very unorthodox. I agree with you now. Damn. Actual damn. Where's it? I think Halo disconnected there for a bit. Sam, over to you, man.
Well, honestly, at this point, the thing is spinning my head. I've given up. I've actually given up on because I even checked ChatGPT to say Alpha.
Bro,
ChatGPT, help me out here. Like, is there something I'm missing? And the last option there says random draw. They should not score in.
Which could not work.
You know, so free for all. Free for all is the fairest way to end it.
No,
right?
Maybe they'll do
pick your best. Pick your best. What's it called? Pick your best player. They pick their best player. They pick their best player. I mean, if you played Neymar Juniors 5, if you played Neymar Junior 5 aside, whenever you have a tie, you pick your best player. They play 1v1. Right? You play 1v1, and whoever scores first wins.
I think if we're going to talk about that free for all, the only way it works is you say whatever gun joins. Because if you go and
sure. Like legal, as long as it's within the rules. As long as it's within the rules, right? Exactly. As long as it's within the rules.
Imagine you were saying snipers only. You already know most likely it's going to be Michael within that thing. Most likely even Michael. If you say ARs only, for AR, well, that might be close for AR. I think that might be close.
No. Any guns of your choice, right? Just pick your best players. Best players first to 20. But the problem with free for all is that you can have two players that will end on 10. You can have two players that will end. But then the beauty of free for all is that whoever wins the first round is exempt, and then the remaining two will play another free for all, and then whoever wins the second is the second qualifier, and the last person is eliminated.
Wait, I'm confused.
I want to start
Wait, I'm confused. What are you guys saying? Free for all that I know, there's only one winner now.
Hey, but you need two qualifiers now. You need two qualifiers, not one.
Oh, I don't forget. 50 long, this is nice, too long, nice.
So they will play 2 free for all. They will play the first one. The first person that wins goes to the next round. Then the remaining two will go and try again. And then whoever wins the next round will go. And then the third person will know is unfortunate. They've tried. You can't blame Carry1st. You can't blame Carry1st now. They've done their best. They didn't cheat you. They didn't cheat you now.
Let's just take it. Let's just take it outside of the game. Put all of them in the boxing ring. Whoever collect.
That was same day.
Bro, you know now.
But how is
man.
Ruin supposed to survive? You put Ruin in the ring with Virus and with Michael. How is Ruin supposed to survive? Either they knock his head,
Virus alive.
he will
Virus
faint.
will survive.
Virus care.
You put like
Virus was
Tipsy.
like, yeah, Tipsy, exactly. Tipsy
You
on
put
live.
like Tipsy.
Tipsy's like very angry right now. Like, Tipsy,
And you put like Michael. You put like Tipsy, you put like Michael. For Ghana, I don't know who they'll put though. Because I can't.
all sports boys. Maybe game day.
They put Ruin. They will knock his head, knock his head like this. Someone said they should put Tipsy. Make Santi pour in frustration. With the way Santi take the boat today. I mean, with the way Santi take the vex today, make them put him.
If to say they force Santi for them, like, they make everybody talk, bro. Santi for deaf that host.
Hey, guys, say that guy slap. Guys, Santi was so bad. Santi was so bad.
The way Santi be squeeze face after that first map. Now Tipsy even bust my head. Like after the first map, Tipsy not even recall him. Like all the entire assembly, they were just like, oh, let's live talk. They wanted to give Virus said let live talk. After the second map, Tipsy was dragging the mic that let me talk. Like after you don't drop stinker in the first match that you refuse to talk. In the second match, in the drag mic say, allow me talk, make I say my points.
I think why they were so angry with that first game is, this whole Nigeria Ghana thing has been like a topic of discussion where we want to see who's better, and then the only time they have their chance to prove that Nigeria is superior, they lose. So the frustration, the anger was top level. Like you have to understand why. Tipsy I think throughout that thing, Tipsy did not smile up to 2 times, maybe even once. He was not smiling.
After disgracing the entire nation. I'm very sure Tipsy was one of those people that were insulting Ayegbeni that year when Ayegbeni missed empty post and he was chewing gum in there. Was it 2000? Which World Cup was that? I remember. Was it 2010 World Cup? Yeah, it was 2010 now. That Ayegbeni missed penalty and he put his hand on his waist and he was chewing gum. I'm very sure Tipsy.
Oh yeah, it was 2010. Was even PK missed emptiness.
Tipsy must have had his first child that time, and he would have just been angry. He would have been angry, saying, "Can you imagine? Look at this guy. He disappointed the nation." And then today it was his turn, and the whole nation was resting on his shoulders, and Tipsy just did like this, come out us for shoulder, So what goes around comes around. You get. Bro, it's easy to criticize when you're not the one on the hot spots.
Whenever the camera was on Tipsy, my guy, see for the second match, my guy,
these days, whenever the camera turned on to Tipsy, all I saw was frustration.
Tipsy is using to shooting you 4 times and you die. Today he was shooting 8 times and they were not dying. All those ping is a scam. Short reg doesn't matter. iPad doesn't mean anything. Today it was very apparent that those are fanciful ideologies. They are not rooted in reality.
The community dragged Tipsy trouser today.
No, Tipsy
if
his life.
If you read the comments, even in his life, if he performed like that again, if he read the comments of that forum group chat, I'm pretty sure he'll have entered the first bus back to Nigeria tomorrow morning.
I don't know what to say, but I'm going to say big ups to it. Like, I think big ups to all the players that played today. It was a very good event, even though the stream wasn't top notch. But big ups to Carry1st as well. Big ups to them. They actually pulled up numbers for the stream and for Africa. This is a big step in the right direction for Africa as a whole. And wonderful event, even though of course there was a whole lot of back and forth for details. But now, particularly that I think the whole podcast today has been more about the group of death, which of course it should be. But now I think we should go and talk about Group B, where we now know Noxious Gaming and Sun Esports have actually qualified for the bracket there. Now, Noxious Gaming, what do you guys think about their strengths today? Because I don't know, I think to me I did see them as top 2 to win the event, but right now I'm seeing them, they're not really giving me that cast Esports vibe. I thought they were going to fill in the shoot properly, but right now I don't see that.
I think their group was too easy.
He don't do it. Yeah, guys, Steph likes trouble, but like we get Hello, what do you think? What do you
I
think?
mean, to be fair, though, they were like having like a 4v5. Like they had to like, although I don't know what's going on with like the
snipers were missing shots. The snipers were not shooting anything. Bimpo was trying to hit one flick. He shot that thing like 19 times. The shot did not register. Right.
They were
they were
sorry, Steph, let me correct one thing on chat. OAU media says we will not reach 1K. How do you mean? We had like 800 numbers on I mean, normal African streams, highest we have is, I think the highest part of the stream in Africa was 400, and that was on TikTok. That was, I think, the APC. On YT, we have never had anything close to that. Maybe 200 max, I think, or maybe 300, I think, or
600 also was
right, so like you saying we literally had 800 plus, and you're still saying you don't reach 1K. Africans, bro, like you guys will never be content. It's a thing. Like you literally had 800, which is like your highest numbers ever on YT, and we still cannot even say, oh, big on Carry1st. Instead, they're going to say,
reach 1K where?
We've never had 1K live viewers. 1K live viewers, no, not
1K where? Are you joking?
1K concurrent, not total views, Jared. Really concurrent, not total views.
We didn't have 1K concurrent, though. Where 1K from?
Send screenshots. I was on the stream here. You got 400 on TikTok. It was even like 403 or something, or 413. And it only lasted for a few seconds. 1K there. Are you joking?
No, we actually got 40 something on TikTok. We had 40 something plus on TikTok for like 35 minutes.
AMC is Caleb's own, not APC.
AMC had 1K. No, I don't know. AMC had
1K. We didn't hit 1K at any point on any. I've not seen 1K concurrent viewers at any point.
I think they were streaming on this guy's TikTok. I think it was Egolinix. Twix, what's happening? Twix, what's the corruption that you're talking about?
Twix, what happened? What is
Twix, what are you talking about? Bring us into the scope. What's the corruption?
Don't find out AMC got 1K concurrent. Oh my god, that is wild. Are you sure? I didn't see that. Why did nobody talk about that?
I can't remember that.
I don't even me. I don't watch that stream. I didn't see 1K. It's very on drugs, guys. I'm not so sure. 1K live on YT, AMC. Are you sure? But I think Twix has something to say. Tell us. They DQ Delta for Storm having Anibon. No, what? Delta got a DQ.
Well, Jesus, God, the God of S7s, the virus mama prayer, the work die.
So apparently, what I'm hearing is they DQ'd Delta for the.
Yeah, we just said that stream. We can see that. Why? The rules detect usage, not you can't equip it. He did not use that annihilator, so how is he getting banned or DQ'd rather?
Well, the rules weren't like clear between use and equip. The rules were more of like if you have an operator, you cannot switch. So there wasn't like they didn't explicitly.
Why was he not saying things like this? I will still say I will stand on the fact that it's unfair because if that's the case, it should have been said after the game or after like even if not after the exact match, maybe they'll still try to decide. At least maybe the next match, at least they'll say it. But waiting till after the whole event is actually crazy. That is crazy and that is unfair. Case closed. I don't care what anybody says. You can't just tell me that they could not come with that decision. Steve on the stream like that.
That's really part
that makes no sense.
When it happened, when the Morocco thing happened, it was more of like an instant DQ. I mean, there's no way that conversation wasn't raised at the venue.
That is unfair.
There is no way that conversation.
Well, to be fair, right, Carl. On one hand, you can say the rules were unclear and stuff.
So
but on another hand, is also worth mentioning. On another hand, it's also worth mentioning that the players need to be professional, right? There are some mistakes that you shouldn't be making at this point, right? There are some risks that are not worth taking. You know, if you know that there's a possibility that you use that loadout, then you should have it pre-configured beforehand with the right operators. Like,
You get, and we must mention the both sides. On one hand, we must chastise Carry1st for not being very clear with their rules, but at the same time, we must also call out the players, managers, the teams involved for not making sure that
I think
that kind of stuff.
What they're saying he was using Vortex and then he changed to the Ani loadout. So
yes, now
the rule says don't change your ops.
Don't change your ops, right? So
exactly. Don't change. So it doesn't matter if you use it or not.
It doesn't matter exactly.
That just makes sense.
So that's the thing. It's like yeah, maybe the rules could have been clearer, or maybe the rules are even stupid, but it doesn't matter. As a player, as a team, as an org, it's your responsibility.
That's fair.
It's your responsibility.
That's fair.
It brings me to the question: like, does Carry1st not understand their own rules?
They don't. You remember that we had this problem in the Nigerian qualifiers. You remember that we had this problem in the Nigerian qualifiers where Complex went to ask for DQ because NATO changed the player and then the player changed an operator and then another player used a different operator and it was a whole mess. And I had to message them and say, Alpha, explain this rule. And then they were like, they will get back to me tomorrow. And then they went to discuss the rule and then they came back and then they said, actually, what happens is that once a player subs in, then you're allowed to change operator. And the whole thing was just a mess, really. Right? So, yeah, but what the guy did today, even he himself knows that he did not intend to do it, which is why he did not use the annihilator, right, when he came again. So he has to take the L in this case. Nobody's cheating you. Right? Nobody's cheating you.
Bro, this is so painful.
It was avoidable.
2 Kenyan teams are out.
Yeah, it was very avoidable. That's the real truth. The real truth is that it's not a freak accident. Right? It's not a freak accident. It was very, very avoidable. All you had to do was not equip that weapon. And as much as I feel like they deserve to qualify based on my own criteria, I can't say, oh, Carry1st has done them dirty or anything like that, because truly they haven't. They haven't done them dirty. It was just a freak accident.
Yeah, but
at this highest level, you make mistakes and you get punished. Is what it is.
So Michael is going home.
Yeah, but they should have come up with the decision. They should have come up with the decision before, like they came after, because from what I'm hearing from like the Kenyan side is that okay, they had a conversation with like the staff of Carry1st and everything, and they were like, okay, they will do, because it's not as if like Carry1st wasn't aware of the 2 Ani thing. They were aware, but apparently at that point it wasn't a DQ. So then they said they are like doing something according to them, like a round differential. So they are calculating like the difference.
Exactly, that's what I saw too.
So they are calculating difference in rounds. So now they came and said they broke the rules, which is it's funny, to be honest, because if you DQ me, let me know there and then. You get me? Not
honestly. Do you know what? I feel like the only reason why you are saying this thing is like why they are enforcing this DQ is because they have a tiebreaker situation on their hands. I feel like if it was a straightforward thing, they probably would have just waved it off and said, "Oh, he didn't use the Ani, right?" Even when he switched to it, but because it's convenient, right? They're like, "No, we stick to the rules. We stick to the rules." That's my own personal opinion. I might be wrong, but that's what I feel.
Yeah, it is. They are taking the easy way out. That's my opinion.
That's what I think as well. They are popping out. That's 100%. That's what I think.
That's the fact, because I want to agree with what Chat is saying. Casa is saying rules are rules. They say don't change your operator. So even if you use it or not, it doesn't really matter. Don't change means don't change. So yes, that is an automatic DQ. But now they did not DQ them. They did not DQ them. Wait, exactly. So that means
which means all right now is going to face Sun tomorrow, and then S7 going to face NXG. So the match we thought we were going to have in the finals, we're going to have in the semi-finals actually.
S7 NXG.
Which also means that there is a possibility of an Aura versus S7 rematch in the finals.
So you're telling me S7 win NXG? Is that what you're saying? You're sure about that?
No, I'm saying there's a possibility, as in based on the way the brackets are arranged, S7 might get their rematch, and when they get their rematch, it will be in the final. Or rather, if they get their rematch, it will be in the final. And then it reminds me of when Rage knocked them to losers bracket, and then they now had a rematch against them in the grand finals. So who knows? Let's see how tomorrow will be. With the amount of surprises that happened today, I'll be immature to try and make predictions for tomorrow.
The best sniper in the Carry1st Africa Cup right now is on the chat.
Storm Gaming. Man, Storm, you really fried today, and I'm sorry that you guys. I'm sorry that you guys are going through it, and I'm sorry that you guys got DQ'd.
It's very painful. I won't lie. It's very painful. I mean, from the player's perspective, like imagine all the imagine not being DQ'd like after 2 games finished, and then the event's finished for day 1, and then a couple hours later you come in here, you are now DQ'd, so you have God.
Oh, you media, there's nothing to say about CZ. CZ didn't deserve to be at this tournament, right? We can all agree that CZY, they did not deserve to be at this tournament. They did not earn the right to be at this tournament, right? They were basically gifted a spot, and it showed because they were a level or 2 below everybody else. So there's nothing to say about CZ. They didn't deserve to be here. They were gifted a slot, and it showed that they were gifted a slot. They embarrassed themselves and their region, and now they're out. To God be the glory.
Bro. Alright, thank you. So I don't know what to say, but the thing is, I'm not going to go deep into that matter anymore. It's really painful. Personally, I really wanted. I would
Kyle, check the chat. Check the chat out. Kasa is saying something about them not letting them wear their jerseys.
Yeah,
because they had Samsung on it.
Yeah, we're meant to end the stream. It's a 1 hour 30 minutes talk podcast. But yeah, our timekeeper Jerry has told us that if we don't end stream soon, it will end the stream for us. So we have to rush things up. But maybe we'll talk about that conspiracy theory tomorrow, because even I really want to discuss that thing, and I'm sure Balo himself on the stream has a lot to say about that. But that is going to be a topic tomorrow. So guys, make sure you're on the Final Circle podcast tomorrow, immediately after, actually 30 minutes after the Carry1st game. Sorry, hello, what?
I said we can just give our predictions for tomorrow.
Yeah,
my predictions for tomorrow.
S7
beats NXG.
Hold on. Now, yeah, again, guys, make sure you're on the podcast tomorrow. We are going to talk about a whole lot more things. It's going to be more interesting.
Not just the podcast. Make sure you're on the watch party tomorrow. There's going to be a watch party tomorrow, just as there was one today. Right, so there's going to be a watch party for like 7 hours, and then there will be the podcast after.
Yeah, I will kill you if it costs me again. Now, guys, most likely we are going to be bringing in players. I promise you, Clemson will be here tomorrow. Ruin will be here tomorrow, promise. So, yeah, the podcast will be exactly 1 hour after the Carry1st Africa Cup Grand Finals, the closing ceremony. Then we are going to go live on the podcast, and we are going to bring a lot of the players in here to actually come and say something. Probably even bring in Michael and even the players of Delta as well, man. Yeah, it's going to be very fun tomorrow. So make sure you're there. Make sure you're there. Also, the watch parties. I'm also going to be having a watch party with Lanex on his own YT. So yeah, you guys also come. A whole lot of watch parties on the players. Send himself as well for 7 hours a day with 25 gigabytes worth of data. But yeah, now we go into predictions, guys, to end the stream. Now we go into predictions for tomorrow. So apparently we now know our last 4 teams. R233, Sierra 7, Noxious Gaming, and the one and only. Wait, who's last time?
Sony Sports.
Sony Sports, let's go. What are your predictions? Let's start with Sam. What are your predictions?
My predictions tomorrow: S7 is going to beat NXG. Son is going to try. They'll win S&D, but ultimately, the guys from Aura are going to win the control.
Mind you, it's a best of 5. It's a best of 5.
Oh, it's best of 5 this time. Aura is winning 2 HPs and 1 control. Right. So Aura to beat Sony Sports. Aura to beat S&Ds 3-1. I say S&Ds. Aura to beat Son 3-1. S7 to beat NXG 3-0 actually. 3-0. 3-0. And then the finals is the best of 7.
Best of 7, yes. Best of 7.
Finals, best of 7. That's where it's going to get interesting, right? Because HP is going to go to Aura, S&D is going to go to S7, and then Control is going to go to S7, actually. And then HP is going to go to Aura, and then the final S&D is going to go to S7. So S7 to win semifinals 3-0, Aura to win semifinals 3-1, and then S7 to win the finals 3-2. Tipsy is going to clutch up tomorrow. Today is a bad day for Tipsy, but trust him to come and shame me tomorrow.
All right, guys. Please, guys, ignore everything Sam said. They made no sense. Hello, please go ahead. What do you think?
My prediction for Sun Esports and is it Aura 2-3-3? I think that's going to be a 3-0. I think that what do you call it? Aura put up today in the S&D. I feel like they'll do a little bit better tomorrow. So I think they'll take the game against Aura 2-3-3 3-0.
Like you believe Aura will beat the same team that beat NXG 7-1 in S&D?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I think Aura would beat this it's on 3-0. And then I see NXG would take Sierra 7 maybe 3-2. To go to I think it might go to map 5. I'm not certain, or maybe like 3-1, 3-2. Then for the grand finals, Aura 2-3-3 and NXG. I think that game would rely a lot on the S&Ds because it's a best of 7, so which means we're playing 2 S&Ds in that series, 2 hard points,
2 S&Ds,
and okay, it's a best of 7. Okay, we're going to play 3 hard points, 3 S&Ds.
2 hard points.
No,
2 hard points.
It's going to be 2 hard, 3 S&D, 2 control. So, well, that would heavily depend on the S&Ds in that grand final. So my pick will still be NXG to win. I mean, bias a lot, but yeah, my pick is definitely NXG to win the entire tournament.
Who NXG? Oh, bias comes in. All right, fine.
Like I said, bias a lot.
Go ahead. Bias, no more. So I'm gonna go ahead and say my predictions, and then we're gonna hear from you guys stats, and then I think we might be going towards it. What's 7 more minutes? That's a whole lot of time. So what I think personally, again, are you guys very sure about Aura being okay? Aura won due to that, so they are topping their group now. We're sure about that, right? We're very sure about that. Are we sure about that? Okay, then. So
yeah, we are.
Aura top, so they're actually facing Sun on second place. So for that, I would say I don't want to say 3-0 because I do think Sun Esports are not a team you can write off that easily. So probably 3-1. But Aura takes that win, whatever happens. And then X7 Noctis Gaming, I am definitely going to be picking NXG. No bias whatsoever. NXG are going to get that win. Probably 3-2. It might be a very close one, or 3-1. But NXG take that win. And then to the grand finals, you guys know who I'm going with. Ghanaian X, bro. Aura 3-3 to win it 4-3. Game over. That's what I think. So you guys in chat, what are your predictions, guys? What are your predictions for the grand finals and the very last day of the Carry1st Africa Cup grand finals, guys? What do you guys think on chat? Let's know. Squidward says NXG 3-1, CS7. Okay, NXG 3-1, CS7. Sun 2-3 against Aura. NXG win Aura 4-2. I forgot he's an NXG player, so I should not be reading that out loud. But yeah, that's our very first vote coming into for NXG to win the whole thing on the chat. Anybody else before we end the stream? Anybody else there for predictions? Who do you guys have winning the whole thing, guys? Who do you guys have winning the whole thing? Who do you guys have winning the whole thing? So the rule comes in. I'm going to read the rule for you guys that actually got Delta Esports DQ'd. Thanks to Dre. Dre sent that to us. So all players on a team are required to pick unique operator skills. This should be stuck with and be chosen for. Wait, sorry. This should be stuck with and rechosen for the entire series, not changed. I don't understand what rechosen means.
Wait,
Do you mind?
Wait, hold on. Let me take a look at that rule set.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused on what rechosen means.
Hold on. Let me take a look at that. My phone is lagging crazily. Okay, so it says all players on the team are required to pick operator skills. This should be stuck with and rechosen for the entire series, not changed. I think what they mean by rechosen is like whenever you enter a new map, I think you are supposed
Not
to
a
stick
new
with that
map,
operator
a
skill,
new
like,
series.
and not change.
A new series.
No. I'm not. You can't change operators in a series. So
yeah,
I think
exactly.
what they mean by and rechosen, you must always choose the operator for every map that you are entering in the entire series. So
I think
that's what they
that
mean
part
by
is not even
rechosen.
that relevant. The important thing is that everybody must have a unique operator skill at a given time, and there was a time where that didn't hold. So the rest of the rule is not even that important. The mere fact that each player did not have a unique operator skill just totally sold them. Right. So whether it was maybe if the guy had changed to Annie and then the other guy had changed to Claw, then we may be debating whether or not the series or the map or the series. But for the mere fact that each player did not even have a unique operator skill, every other argument is moot.
It is what it, anyways, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. So guys, we are again.
But yeah, two DQs in one tournament. It doesn't speak well of us.
It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Life goes on. So the grand finals are going to be tomorrow. I think by 11:30 a.m. as well, or 12. So yeah, you guys make sure you guys are on the actual stream. Hopefully they have all the lags fixed before tomorrow's stream. And again, the final circle is going to start exactly 1 hour after the whole event. So we give the players time to rest, so we can invite the players here and talk to the victors and talk to them and make it a very fun podcast. Also, there are going to be a whole lot of watch parties. Seb, for one, is going to be watch partying again for the whole event, like normally does when there's mad people and all that on Discord. A whole lot of watch parties for the pro players, Sama, Demon. I myself will be watch partying with Laylex on his own white channel. So guys, make sure you're on those watch parties or on the mainstream. But this has been the final circle brought to you by Carl, Halo, and Seb for today. And special shout out to Javid as well for handling all the production and all the GFX behind the scenes. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Have a good night. The final circle.
Today, and we had 2 DQs. We need to work on our professionalism as a region. We had 2 teams get disqualified for fielding underage players, and then at the main event, you have 2 out of 6 matches ending in a DQ. We need to have a conversation. Good night, guys. I'll be there tomorrow.
Good night, guys. Have a good one. Take a good night rest. No.